Good morning, St. Francis. Good morning, people of God. It is Monday, the second day of the month of December, 2024, Monday of the first week of Advent. It is 23 days until Christmas Day. Again, remember that Christmas Day begins the Christmas season. All of the Christmas season will now move us into the middle of January, almost till January the 12th. So our second day of Advent on the second day of December, on this first week of Advent. This is also a day in which, although it is not on the calendar officially, this is a day in which we honor the memory of the four church women, missionaries in El Salvador, who were brutally murdered by the political parties there in El Salvador in 1980. Dorothy, Mora, Ida, and Jean. One of them, an Ursuline sister. I think another one was a sister. I'm not sure, but the other two were lay missionaries, I think. And again, brutally murdered by the opposing of political elements in El Salvador during the Civil War there. So on this day, we remember them. And again, a poignant reality and a truth, again, of why we need this Savior, of why we need this God to come to rescue us, of why we must go running to meet the Savior because of all of these things, again, that we ourselves, find ourselves in predicaments with and find ourselves in tragedy, immersed in tragedy because of. And so honoring their memory today, again, furthers our desire and our need for this God to come to save us. And so we open up on this Monday of the first week of Advent with Isaiah and this great vision that Isaiah has of a mountain to which all peoples of all nations and all kinds of people are streaming towards, a mountain that's becoming a home to them, a mountain that becomes a place of peace and of refuge, where life can begin, again, where life can flourish. Again, this great vision of a God who doesn't draw ethnicities, to himself, a God who does not draw just certain groups of people or just even a chosen people to himself, but all people. And because of that, then, again, things begin to change within human society. The great line in this passage from Isaiah of swords becoming plowshares and spears into pruning hooks. What was used for war is now used for life. It's used to better human society, to allow human society to be nourished and to flourish, to establish itself, to find itself as a place, as a refuge, as a place of meaning and dignity and worth. This is God's design and God's plan. Again, this whole idea, of a God who wants to bring all people together, a God who wants to make all nations one so that God can be God in all, a God who does not stop, again, gathering us together. It is our own obstinacy and our own refusal to believe that God can do this, again, that gets in the way. But again, this great promise, an Advent that looks forward to a future in which all people are one with God. Matched with that gospel today is Luke's account of a centurion who has a servant, against a centurion in Matthew's gospel, who has a servant who is sick, and he wants Jesus to come to heal him. And Jesus says, well, let's go to your house so I can do that. And the centurion says, but I am not a Jew. I do not believe as you believe. I do not honor what you honor. But I know that what you say, if you say it, it can be done. And I do believe that you can heal my servant. And Jesus basically remarks on the faith of this non-Jewish individual, and that he had found as much faith among the Jewish people as he does in this centurion, in this Roman, basically, who is seen perhaps as an oppressor, as someone who is stopping the Israelites from living their lives as they should and as they ought in freedom. And yet Jesus helps this man, this individual, this non-Jew, to gain back what it is that he believes that he is losing in this servant, who he says is more than a servant to him, but a son. Again, this tenderness and this wonder and this beauty that Jesus shows, again, of his mission that knows no ethnic boundaries, that knows no religious boundaries, that knows no social or political boundaries. It is a mission for all people at all times, which is why, again, when we say that this child is born for us, this son is given to us, it is not just to a particular group, but this child is given to this world, for this world to either accept or to reject. But the more that it rejects this son that is given to them, the more difficult, again, our lives become, perhaps, and the more difficult is the future that we desire to attain. Again, this God who shows in many ways a promise unfolding throughout this work of Jesus is a promise that gives us a future filled with hope and wonder and beauty. A blessed Advent, St. Francis and people of God, a blessed day. May the Lord give you his peace.